All right, guys, I got some great books and resources for our homeschool at a library sale. Stick around and I'm going to tell you all about it and how much I spent on all of these books. It's probably less than you think. Hi guys, this is Heather at Homeschool Culture. In today's video, I have a library sale haul for you. So everything I'm going to show you, I got at our local, well, I should say our local library. I utilize two libraries. I have one here closer to my house that's more of a country type library, rural city type library. And then I also utilize a big library system in the DFW area. And so that is where this is from. So, and just so you know, and I don't know if you are new to library sales, but they're open to the public. So normally library sales happen so that they can get money for, obviously, the library. And so some of these books are actually ex-library books, like maybe they have a bunch in, because the specific library has many branches, maybe they just don't feel the need to have, one of these books at every branch. And then also, people come in and donate books to the library sale so the proceeds can go back to the library. All right, so I have, again, so I think I have, if I remember correctly, there was about 36 books. I think that's right. I think there was 36 books and one really big puzzle that I'm excited to show you. And I got all of it for $40. So please stay tuned just to kind of show you what you potentially could get at a library sale. I've been to 4 or 5 now, and there's been a few years that I got much more than this and much better finds. I'll be honest, much better finds. But I am excited to show you some of these things when I go through them. So on some of these, I'll definitely show you how I'll use them. Some of them are just picture books to add to our library, home library here. Some of them I do plan on using like actually as a homeschool resource. And well, let's just go ahead and get started and I'll show you which ones. Okay, so this is Bear in Mind, a book of bear poems. So if you saw my last video, you saw that my son is really interested in bears right now. So I thought this would be fun just to add to our morning basket for him so that he could pick out a few of these that he wanted to maybe memorize this school year. This is called Anna's Garden Songs. Peas you sow early in May will clamber up the curly way and bloom for you some early day when rain comes down in a swirly way. So this is poems, and it's going to be related to like garden related poems. And here on our homestead, we do garden quite a bit. And so I thought, again, this would be a fun one to just, even if we just read over it in spring, things like that, to add to morning time. What do y'all do? First off, do y'all do? Please, please, please comment down below. I love being able to communicate with y'all and get ideas from you. And then, of course, when you share them, you're not just giving them to me. So when you share them, you're sharing them with this whole community that I'm hoping to grow here. But I would love to know if you do a morning time or morning basket. Mine has definitely evolved over the years. We did it in the afternoon. We've done it in the morning. We did it with both of my children. At one point, my then 8th grader kind of didn't do it with us very much. So it's looked all different ways. I'm going to have a video coming out probably in the next 3 weeks-ish, probably in the next 3 weeks, showing you what we're currently doing for Morning Basket, how I'm going to utilize Morning Basket for high school credit, and then also why I think it's important that your high school kids still participate in Morning Basket. And I'll talk all about that then. Okay, next book I got King Arthur. So pretty much this book says, so how is this book maybe a little different from others? It says that this book examines the life and times of both the historical and legendary King Arthur and shows how the once and future king of Britain grew into a legendary hero. And so that is what that is. It's probably a book, we are definitely, right now we're in U.S. history. We'll go to ancient history and then to medieval. And so it'd probably be something, I'd have to read through it a little bit and see if it's something that maybe my high schooler at the time might do a quick read on, or if it's something that my middle schooler, he'll be closer to upper middle or upper elementary middle schooler might read, or it might be a read aloud. Okay, I feel like I've had this before, but maybe not. But the Baker's Dozen is St. Nicholas Tale. And so I thought this was a cute little book. And again, I think because it is a ex-library but because it was kind of papery back, I think it was 50 cents. Autumn Blings, Poems and Paintings. So this would be great for morning basket that I can add now for autumn. And what I love about this too for y'all is that if there's something in here that I really find and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great, then I can always share it with y'all. And it's something that y'all could either find at your library and or, you know, buy for your homeschool library. Oh, and then Hand Springs. Okay, so I remember that. So this was Autumn Blings, Poems of Autumn. And then this is called Hand Springs, Poems of Spring. So like there's one that says Goodbye Winter, Winter and Spring. And they look like this is probably very elementary aged, but sometimes when you're just wanting just to have, my daughter does like it even though she's older, she does like just simplistic poems. And so this will just be fun just to read through as a family. I've never actually done poetry tea time. Let me know if you have and what are your thoughts on it. Trying to get through some of these. Okay. Anytime I see a garden, and again, because this would have been $1. So anytime I see one of these, I always pick it up. I've actually probably purchased a few over the years and resold them, but a child's garden of verses. And it's older, or it seems to be. So like the illustrations, looks like old paintings. And I've really decided just here recently, and I know I still have quite a while, but I'm really gonna, on some of these that are just almost heirloom to me classics, I'm really gonna keep so that my kids can pass it down to their children, and or I can keep them here for when I'm a grandma, which I know is many, 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 many years from now, but I can keep for them as well and just show, you know, this is what your mom and dad used to look at. What is your angle, Pythagoras? I love math books like this. Just to kind of, my kids love picture books. My older daughter and my son, so my 9-year-old and my 13-year-old both love picture books. And so anytime I can get a picture book in and it have and be part of like the curriculum as well, I always do that. This is called The Last Bit Bear of Fable. And so I figured this might be an easy reader for my son. And again, he's really into bears right now. All right, I think this stack right here, I was going to go through. We have most of these books already. We have one copy. But I think what I've decided with my daughter for high school literature, when she's reading a book, I'm going to read it too. Because a lot of these books I may have read in high school, but just don't remember. There's actually some that I maybe read in college. But again, I haven't read it in so long. And so what I've decided is I'm going to get a copy for her and a copy for myself. And in that way, we can dialogue as she's reading through it. And then when she starts writing a paper over or whatever, it'll be fresh to me. So I can just help her through that process to, you know, to kind of give her ideas. Because I do think it's important, you know, when they're little, we teach them how to write, correct? And so, but I still think as they're in high school, it's important to show them, you know, you could pull this or you could pull this and give them ideas, not write it for them, but give them ideas of what they could write about. And then especially in the early years of high school, and then as they're getting into college, obviously I won't be reading those. And then she will already have kind of that foundation of what to, you know, things to think about and look for in books. And actually, like my composition classes and literature classes in college were actually some of my favorites. So, okay, so Robin Hood, which this will probably be more for my son and I to go through together. To Kill a Mockingbird, she does plan on, or I do plan on her reading that this year as a freshman. Animal Farm, The Great Gatsby, and again, I think I have all of these, but I just want another copy. And again, these were either 50 cents or $1, so you can't beat the price. And then we do Shakespeare in our house, and I've not even looked into this play to know if we're going to do it, but I figured for the price, I'd go ahead and get it. Much Ado About Nothing. They had some more Shakespeare books like this, and I always have 1 or 2 copies, one for me, one for her. But now that my son's going to be reading along as well, I'll make sure I get 3 copies. I always get them at Half Price Books or someplace like that, someplace cheap. And I always give them the better copies. But I try not to buy ones with like a lot of highlighting and words and stuff like that. And it seemed like the ones at the library still this time had that. In the past, I actually got a bunch without it. Here's another math book, Circumference, All the King's Tens. I'm not sure I've read this one, so. These that I'm going to show you right now are going to be more of the readers. Now, my son is a third-ish, fourth-ish grader. We don't really do grades here in that sense. He is dyslexic, and he's probably on more, like if you're looking at, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, those type books, he's probably, like easy readers, he's probably on a level 3 or 4. But I like to keep 1s and 2s, level 1s and 2s in his room. So when at night, when he's supposed to be reading, they're easy reads for him. So he feels accomplished, and he is actually getting to read at night by himself. But I did find some 3s, and so he'll just read those with me. So this one is Listen Up, Alexander Graham Bell. It's Snowing, It's Snowing. This one, I'm not really sure if it's going to be an easy reader or not. I'll have to read through it, or him and I might just read through it together. But it's the Titanic. It doesn't give like it says stepped into reading, okay. But it doesn't give a level. But we are going to be going over the Titanic. And I actually, with history, some of the parts of history we just kind of flow through with our American storybook through master books. And then sometimes we take a pause and really deep dive more into it, and the Titanic is one that I think would be fun to do that with. A Lion to Guard Us. Sharks. Penguins. Okay, I know this is more girly, but I still think he would like it. The Case of the Missing Jelly Donut. Minnie and Moo. Carnival. Porky and Bess. Iris and Walter and Field Trips. And then Turkey Together. And again, our turkeys together. And again, these were all $1. And this might have been, the ones that are not hardback might have been 50 cents. And so I just kind of thumb through them. They're mostly ex-library books. I kind of thumb through them and make sure they're not, torn or doing any, or messed up in that way. And they're not. So good finds. We do picture study. And I'm hoping this has the pieces. And I wish there was a date on this so I would know if it's actually older or not. But it's over 500 pieces. Actual size is 17 3/8 by 22 3/4. But I thought this would be fun to do a Norman. So when we do our Norman Rockwell picture study or artist study, I really call it artist study. But when we do Norman Rockwell, I thought it would be fun to get this puzzle out and have the kids put this together, or all of us do it together. And so that I got for, you can see they wrote on it $3. And I think I can take it off because it's kind of that waxy pencil, red pencils. So anyways, I thought that was a really cool find for $3. Hopefully it has all the parts. All right, I'm going to quickly go through this. A lot of these are, oh, here's another book that, Carry On, Mr. Bowditch. And that one I don't think I have. So, and I'll probably have my daughter read this year. But the rest are all, for the most part, ex-library books. Some of them are very well known. Some of them are the Caldecott winners, and they're good library-bound books for $1. So this one is not, this is just one that was probably brought in. It says, If the Shoe Fits. I think I read through it. I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure I read through it and thought my son would like that. The House in the Night. This is a Caldecott, metal. Underwater alphabet book. And so it is, when I first picked it up, I was like, is it just going to be another, more elementary book? But it's really not. It is ABCs, but it goes for like, so A is angelfish, but then it talks about the actual angelfish. And I told y'all in the last video that we are going to do a ocean unit. And I might even break the ocean unit into like oceans, like layers of the ocean, do like a little mini unit, and then do one on coral reef system, and then maybe do one like on tide pools, things like that. I haven't decided yet, but I thought this would be great no matter what. All right, this is another Caldecott Medal winner. And it's for the Best Illustrated Children's Book Award. and it is Flotsam. Again, I'm sorry if these are glaring. That's why I'm going to make sure I get it open for y'all. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen these books. They don't have words. They are picture books that are just, they tell the story. They definitely tell a story, but they don't show, they don't have any words in them. And so it's fun because you can get these and go through them, and you can have your kids, you know, use this. Like if maybe you're wanting them to write that day and they can't think of something, you can pull this out and say, okay, you know, look through this and make up your own story. You can just be fun as a morning, like a morning brain exercise type thing where, you know, everybody takes a page. Okay, now it's your turn. What's the story going to be? And then now it's certain they have to add on that type of thing. Kind of like story cubes, but in book form. So I like these type of books. When I first got it from the library, I was like, and then as I listened to other people, what they do with it, and then actually utilized it in ours, they're actually kind of fun. The next one is Jumanji. So my kids love Jumanji. They want the board game. I haven't got it. I might get it for them for Christmas. I don't know. But they love the book, and so we don't have it. So I thought I'd get that. Okay, so I went to go check my video, and it stopped halfway. So I'm going to try to pick up where I'm just going to kind of go backwards, and hopefully I will stop, because I stopped at Jumanji. Okay, the next one I got was Patience Wright. And this is the America's First Sculptor and Revolutionary Spy. So we've already gone through the Revolutionary in our history right now because we're about to start Civil War. But I love picking up books like this or doing the easy readers or anything like that. And you can always recap. So I could read this during morning basket time or morning time and kind of recap over and see what they remember from the Revolutionary. And that way it just kind of sparks that information back in their brains. The next one, and I think this was $2. So everything else was mostly $1 besides that puzzle. But everything else was $2. Or this was $2. And it's Children's Ocean Life Encyclopedia. So I have gotten about any type of encyclopedia, children related, that you can think of. I definitely like topic-based better than kind of a broad children's encyclopedia. And so this has really, really great info. And I feel like I could use it across many different, so since the brochure is so broad, if I break it up into different mini units, I think I can utilize this probably across all of them. Okay, so we are doing one thing that we're going to go over, and I know he knows it, but I just want to reiterate it. This year, we're going to do a mini unit on life cycle, so we're going to do one on animals and on plants. And so I found this Seeds Move, so it talks about how seeds move, so I went ahead and picked that up. We might not get to this year, but this is called a river story. It would be great addition, especially if you were doing a unit on waterways or rivers specifically, anything like that. This would be great because it talks about rivers in the city and rivers, big rivers, small rivers, wild rivers. It is gorgeously illustrated. So I'm very, very excited about that book. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Chanticleer, I think so. And the Fox. I'm pretty sure I've owned this before. Was this part of the Beautiful Feet Around the World series? Maybe. I feel like maybe that's why I owned it. So, but again, and this because I think because it's more soft bound, it was 50 cents. So I picked that up. Okay. And I have two Gail Gibbons books, Cats and Frogs. Anything Gail Gibbons, I will pick up, especially when this was probably 50 cents and this was $1 and it's a hardback. But Gail Gibbons is my favorite nonfiction writer for children. I've already told you that I'm going to definitely be able to use this during our life cycle. And my son picked this up the other day at the library, and I'm pretty sure I took it back before he read it. We have so many, guys. We have so many books. I bet we have 60 library books out right now between 2 different libraries. And so if I see that he doesn't gravitate towards it quickly, then I take it back, and then he can always check it out later. I usually let him, he probably checks out when I go to the library, especially for like a unit study or something, because majority of the time, unless I'm purchasing really cheap like this, majority of the time I will buy maybe 1 book for a unit study or maybe 2, but everything else I just check out. And so, especially depending on what the unit is. If it's something in history that I know I could use over and over, well, even then, I'm trying to get away from purchasing so much full price and do more discount stuff. So anyway, so if you ever see a Gail Gibbons book, I promise you, especially, and they're across the board. I mean, she has things on like a farm, milking, plants, animals, building stuff, planes, bicycles. I mean, anything you can think of, she has a book on it. So Gail Gibbons, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, this is What Lives in a Shell. And so again, just kind of along those lines of our ocean unit. I have a feeling I'm going to make this a lot bigger unit, and within the unit have a lot of mini units. Snowflake Bentley. Okay, so this is another Caldecott book, and I know I've read this before. I'm going to have to go through it because I know I've read it to my daughter, probably not my son. It's been that long. So anyway, so I was really excited to find this. And again, the outside is a little tattered, but it is, I feel like you could probably just spray it down with, you know, a little bit of cleaning spray and wipe it down a little bit. You can take off the binding, just know. So normally if you get a library book, sometimes the book doesn't have, like the cover's not going to look like this on the hard part. Like these are made specifically for library binding. So yes, you could take it off, but I think I'm just going to maybe clean it up a little bit. Or honestly, I just don't really care. Like, I think, you know, he will just enjoy it, and I'm not going to worry about the scuff marks and stuff on Snowflake Bentley. So I think I showed this already, Jumanji. Yes, okay, I went through all those. So yeah, I'm so happy and so thankful for getting the opportunity to go to this library sale. Definitely check them out. So like, let's say you live, like me, you live in kind of more of a rural community. Like our community doesn't do library sales. They'll have books that they have like a special section that that they will add to, I guess, when they're ready to get rid of it. But most of the time it's people bringing in stuff. And so, and a lot of times it's not school related. So if I'm buying anything in my town, it's Goodwill. Goodwill is my go-to place to look for. And every time I go, I'll find a stack of books. And a lot of them are nonfiction, good quality. So someone around here likes to donate to Goodwill, or maybe they get them in from someplace else. I don't know. Like if you live more rural and you know, like, I don't know, you have a big city an hour or 2 hours away, and you know there's going to be a library sale, you just can just call and say, do you know when your library sale? Sometimes you can find it. I know Arlington's is really hard to find online, so I normally have to call. They have like two. So if you're a library, if you're in the DFW area, they have 2 a year, fall and spring. They just had the fall one, so you'll have to wait till spring. I usually just call and ask when it is it. I put it on my calendar, and I just make it a point to go to town that week. So this was the first time I got to go by myself. Normally my kids are with me, and I'm gonna be honest, it was enjoyable by myself. So if you can do that, great. If not, but there were so many you could tell they're homeschool people too, because it was a Thursday during the day. And so there were so many kids there with their parents, and they were just grabbing up books left and right. But yes, so make sure you just call and ask, put it on your calendar. And then like for me, I go to Costco, I'll go to Trader Joe's, any type of shopping that I can't do here because they just don't have it. I'll get all that type of shopping done there. And so I just make like a whole day. And when I did that, I don't think I did a video for y'all. I might have did a video for my other channel. It was exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. I was exhausted by the end, but it's so well worth it to get these amazing books. I mean, I might be able to get, look at all this. And this for $40. I'm not sure I could get, I don't know, especially some of these Caldecott books, library binding, so let's just say hardcover, on Amazon. I maybe could have got those all for $40 total. So probably not even that. Because I love, there's books whenever I check them out at the library, I'm like, oh, I really want that book. And I'll go and I'm like, it's $15. And sometimes I refuse to get the paperback because I do get paperback, don't get me wrong. But if I'm buying new, I prefer to buy the hardcover. Because if I'm buying it, especially a picture book, it's going into what I can, like I said, kind of our like heirloom type area. And I plan on keeping it for my kids and their kids, etc. So I so hope you have a beautiful day. I'm so blessed that you're here. If you're new to me, then please, I would love for you to join this community. I am trying to grow this community. And so I have another channel that I initially started Homeschool that just kind of spun into something else. And I don't have a whole lot of homeschool people over there. or I would say just maybe, 10% of them maybe are homeschool people and the rest aren't. I really wanted just to create this new channel and it be solely homeschool because I love homeschool creation. I love watching homeschool content and I love making homeschool content. Welcome. If you are new, please just hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you found value in this video, I would love it for you to like because it just helps the whole algorithm. And comment too, because even that helps the algorithm when y'all comment. And I love it. I love hearing from y'all and gaining that knowledge from y'all and what y'all like and don't like, and what unit studies y'all are doing, because that's probably something I haven't done. And so just sharing with me is also sharing with so many other people. On that note, I hope you have a blessed day, a blessed week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.